Hello and welcome to a Do It With Me demo. My name is Alicia Jones. I'm a preventative nutrition and health coach from Southern California, and I love the Lord, I love my family, and I love to help women grow in confidence through a healthy lifestyle. And I do that by focusing on preventative nutrition through macronutrients. So today is going to be very fun. It's a video Do It With Me demo, one in a series of videos to help you learn how to bake healthier. A lot of women know how to cook healthier. Cooking usually is like dinner, savory. Those are awesome. I've got lots of recipes for those. But today, I'm going to learn how to bake healthier. Specifically, how do you put together nutritious breads, cookies, muffins? My friends, these are comfort foods. Would you agree? And when we swap them out for a more nutritious version, something that has protein in it, that's veggie based, okay, that's gonna have antioxidants and be beneficial for your body, right there, you are on your way to becoming a happier, healthier version of yourself. And when you give these kinds of foods to your family, you're gonna feel amazing. You just know that you're a rock star in the kitchen because they are eating healthier, happier, and you know you're giving them nutritious food. And doesn't that make you feel good about yourself as a mom, or if you are a grandma, you have grands, you know how that goes as well. Those little kiddos like treats, and it's very fun for you to provide for them healthy, nutritious treats. All right, a lot of women in my community have given me feedback about, hey, can you show us how to do some of the bulk veggie prep? So today is going to be a very fun Do It With Me demo, so I hope you are ready to go. This is rock and roll. We're actually gonna do this together. So I have already washed my hands. If you'd be so kind, go ahead and wash your hands, and we're gonna just walk this through together. I picked specifically yellow squash and green squash because in my list of bulk veggie prep inside this book, if you don't already have it, make sure you get yourself a copy. Veggie prep guide is in the back. So what I'm doing is showing you how to do what's in the book. I'm gonna do yellow squash and green squash. I'm gonna show, well, zucchini, of course, also known as zucchini. I'm gonna show it to you in two different ways. So depending on what tool you have in your kitchen, you'll be able to do it too. I'm gonna show you how to store it so that you can easily and quickly whip up a batch of, say you want to do some hidden veggie. I call these the lunch muffins. They've got a lot of veggies in there, antioxidants, protein, and this is the kind of stuff you want your family to eat. And the good thing is you can eat it too without feeling deprived. Make sure you're cool with the whole process, that it works for you. If you need to adjust anything, of course, feel free. I'm just going to show you what I find to be efficient and what works for me. But get this, if you're the kind of person like me where you're like, I wonder if I could make more than one, guess what? You totally can. And when I say bulk veggie prep, I mean typically I will do 6 to 8 of these at a time. But I didn't start that way. So I'm not going to start that way for you today. I'm going to show you the beginning, the basics, and if you want to do more, cool. If you don't, cool. So by now, hopefully, you've got your knife out, you've got your yellow squash out. This is a very, very inexpensive vegetable. Let's walk this through real quick to show you how quick you can actually prep these so that when you want to make these muffins, you can. Basically, you're going to take your squash, you're going to cut off the ends like this. Okay. Throw it in the sink. Now I'm going to show you the blender first, and then I'm going to show you the food processor, because a lot of women have one or both of these tools in their kitchen, and hopefully everybody has a blender to start with. So basically, we're going to start by cutting it just into relatively small chunks. I like to just kind of do, see how it's like a strip, okay? And we're seeing like super coarse chunks, like that, so that it's just like a chop, chop, chop. You know, doesn't take a lot of time. And this does not have to be perfect. Just throw it in the blender. Okay, so take the lid off. All right, now we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of water, okay? It's gonna get loud for a minute. So I'm gonna show it to you now, and then I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna blend it up, and just so I don't kill your ears with the sound, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like blended. So you go ahead and do the same thing. I hope you've got your nice loud blender going, but already you can see, look at the texture of that. It's quite literally a puree. You see that? Took what, 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds to blend that up. Now the trick is, first of all, just make sure it's super smooth. If it's not smooth, get it smooth, okay? Because that, my friend, right there is the texture trick to hiding more vegetables inside of your comfort foods that you're already making. Okay, so you can't even tell that there's veggies in this. It looks like your very typical chocolate chip banana muffin, and yet there's actually carrot, zucchini, and yellow squash in this muffin. Okay. So now what I recommend that you do is, you see these sandwich size bags? You can store them in whatever you want, but I find these to be very helpful. I also think that the pouring makes it super simple. Okay, and what's really cool, can you see that? That's approximately 1 cup, okay? If you'd like to measure it and be precise, go ahead, but I find it doesn't exactly matter. And I'm just saying that from 6 years of experience of making these hidden veggie type recipes, that approximately 1 cup is just fine per batch. Let's say it that way, because what if you want a double batch or triple batch, and after you get going, you're like, man, it's so much easier just to make a couple batches while I have the ingredients out. You betcha, I so agree with that. So basically right here, I've got this nice bag of yellow squash, and it's gonna go in my freezer, and I'm gonna lay it flat, and I'm gonna freeze it in the freezer. Or if I was gonna make stuff, I would just make the muffins right now, but I won't do that today. There's another video on how to make these muffins. You can absolutely look that up on my YouTube channel. These are amazing. One of the most popular items in this book, to be totally honest with you, okay? So I want you to see that essentially that's a super fast way of blending up veggies, adding it to your muffin recipe, and then we move on, okay? So that is how you do yellow. Now I did yellow first. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you in a food processor, because some women have food processors, at least the women I speak with, and a lot of them just don't know what to do with it. Like, how do you use a food processor in the recipe, or what kind of recipes would you even use this for? So I'm curious, just put down in the conversation if you have a food processor, because to be honest with you, some women do, some people don't. And I just wanted to kind of share it both ways so that you can see how simple and adaptive this is. We're gonna go into the zucchini, again, assuming that you've washed this, which I have. Okay, again, we're chopping off the ends. Throw it in your sink or your trash. Okay, again, I think this long way, see? And then long way again, okay, right? And then I find that just the super big chunks is all you need. It's about yay big. It's just super coarse chopping, right? And then you put it inside your food processor. I will show you here in just a second. See, that's the food processor. It's got the typical blade in it. Can you see it right there? Yep. That's just your very basic blade. Nothing fancy. I have done it with other blades before. If you'd like to, you're welcome to, but I just find this is simple and of getting about 1/4 of a cup of water. Okay. Now, same thing. I'm gonna turn this on. It's gonna get super loud. So I'm just gonna pause the video for a moment. And we've got the food processor already done with the zucchini. Now, did you notice, if you did this with me with the food processor, it's slower than the blender, to be perfectly honest with you. The blender goes faster. So if you are tight on time like most women are, and you have a blender, you might want to start with the blender. I show you this because, again, it's a way of encouraging you, equipping you, empowering you with tools that you can use depending on what you have available in your own kitchen without having to buy anything, okay? So again, super smooth puree. That's zucchini pureed with, you saw it, nothing but water. We're gonna take out this blade, right? Again, you've seen these probably. It's a fabulous use of your food processor. I'm just gonna put that in the sink there. And again, the trick is to simply store it in a sandwich size plastic bag, or whatever kind of storage you prefer. I prefer it this way because it freezes flat and I can see what's in the bag, okay? And I will say one other slightly messier thing about a food processor. You gotta get the veggies out of the bottom, and then when you pour it, it pours nicely. It just doesn't have a spout like how the blender has a spout. So no worries, just different, it's fine. Okay, and then you're gonna come back here again. You can kind of see that in the plastic bag there. It's approximately 1 cup. And when you close it, you just keep it nice and flat when you put it in your freezer. Now what's super cool about this green zucchini is amazing to hide inside of chocolate recipes, like chocolate cake, chocolate cupcakes, brownies, things like that, okay? So here we had it flat. Now what's cool is here's what we did today, right? You can see how they're obviously just in the puree state, no problem. Here's what they look like when they're totally frozen. I stack them in my freezer. I told you I do this in bulk, so I'm showing you today how you can do just one. I highly recommend that you start with one, and just kind of make sure this process works for you, see which tool you prefer, see how fast it goes for you. And then if you want to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, squashes at a time, totally cool. I really find it doesn't add a lot more time, and I'm prepared with a lot of veggies available to use for recipes, so that you can take your vegetables, put them inside of recipes. If you have recipes already that you're already using and you're happy with them, awesome. Just add the veggies and see what that does for the nutrition of your family, specifically the gut health, immunity, inflammation, and healthy weight maintenance, or even losing weight if that's important to you, okay? And if you want some recipes, I just want you to see what you could make. It's really, really fun and simple. These are some hidden veggie muffins. They're very kid-friendly, all right? And then these cookies are actually also some of my boys' favorites. They eat them for lunch or dinner, or snacks even, because there's also protein in them. But again, there's a whole bunch of hidden veggies in here, and they are, they've got chocolate chips, so they're very much like your typical chocolate chip cookie, all right? And the last thing I'll show you here is an idea of breakfast bread. I actually have 2 kinds of protein in this bread, as well as 2 kinds of veggies, both of which I showed you today, the green and the yellow squash, all right? It's amazing how many calories you can save around your waistline that get turned into fat when you're eating veggie-based food like this. So I hope that just walking you through this process was fun and helpful for you. Please drop me a hashtag value below this video if this was helpful for you. And if you want this book, make sure that you get that. It'll be in a resource below the video. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you soon. Have a blessed day.